December 15th, 2023. All right, going to try to keep this one short today. We don't have specific questions in the thread, so I'm going to actually cover a short little topic today that I sent out to the free but private email list about calories. How do you actually know that you're in a calorie deficit? Before I do, some quick announcements. As always, this group is an amazing community of positive, supportive people. There aren't debates and arguments that go on here other than, friendly ones here and there. And it's okay to question things and look for an answer and do it in a civil way. But for the most part, it's super beneficial place to post your questions, your form check videos, thoughts, research that you find, podcast episodes, all that good stuff. A great place to get support. You could always go to the guides section, find out how to best take advantage of the community, as well as this Q&A thread that I'm answering today on the live, and I do so every week, and then some of the past workshops and trainings that we've had. All right, a few other announcements. We have, it's not shown here, of course, but we have our body recomp challenge going on. We are concluding our second week here, and today is the challenge call at 12 p.m. Eastern. So if you're in the private Telegram chat for the challenge, you'll know where the link is. You should also have it in your inbox. I encourage you to join live if you can make it, because that's where we're going to have the Q&A. And most importantly, today, Alan Friedman is going to be leading a mindfulness session that's going to be very simple and easy to execute. It's going to really help you reduce stress, and it's a tool that you'll be able to use for the rest of your life. He's going to explain the science behind it as well, which is always really where the magic is for understanding the practical side versus the theoretical side. So check that out. Join the call at 12 p.m. Eastern to get the live walkthrough of that. I'm also going to do a quick training session on intensity versus frequency in your strength training, because this question has come a lot up lately, and there are a lot of there's a lot of videos and stuff coming out on the internet about high frequency training. And I talked to Andy Baker all about this, not just about that, but I've definitely brought it up on today's podcast episode that came out, episode 31, which is with Andy Baker. He's my strength coach. He's a world-renowned coach, co-author of Practical Programming and the Barbell Prescription. He was on way back on episode 60. He was on again. It's a long episode. It's an hour and 48 minutes, but I'll tell you what, it's one of those long ones that goes like that because it's so jam-packed with amazing information and insights. And by insights, I mean, Andy's one of the few guys out there who can communicate very clearly and naturally the principles of strength training. Although this episode's about bodybuilding, it's really a lot more than that. It's bodybuilding in the context of the overall picture of strength and hypertrophy and how it all plays together. If you're looking to improve not only your physique, but just to get stronger, build more muscle, you definitely want to either watch or listen to that episode. And I'm going to say it again, as I do always every week. Please subscribe to the podcast in your app. Click subscribe or follow. In Apple, I think it's called follow now. There's a little toggle when you go into the settings or you scroll down. Please do that, because then it'll help people find the show. You'll get notified of new episodes. If you want to delete them, that's fine. But I appreciate that. The other thing you could always do for me is put a 5-star review in Apple. Take a minute just to go in and submit a review. That also helps us with the social proof. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is, with Christmas coming up, I'm not going to create new episodes, but I'm going to re-release 2 very good classic rewind episodes that are worth listening again, even if you already listened to them, because I listened to them again and it's myself talking, and I was refreshed with some of the things that I've said in the past of like, oh yeah, that's a good point that guy makes. They're about, well, you'll see what they're about. I'll drop them, surprise episodes. There'll be full on replays on Tuesday and Friday of that week. I'm not sure if I'm going to release some quick wits that week. I might, but we'll see. I'm taking the week off, but I like to batch some stuff ahead of time. Anyway, let's jump into, so wait, I think that's it. I'm going to go ahead and unpin last week's Ask Philip, and then, also very cool. The episode coming out next Tuesday is going to be a holiday story. So I'm curious how this comes across, because it's going to be, it's heartwarming. It may be a little funny, but it's not, it's not crazy or anything. It's just a really nice story that I think will inspire you for the holidays. It's a fairly short episode. Have fun with it. That's the way I see it. And enjoy. And then let's see, I think that's it here. Okay. So we're going to jump in. We have no questions for today. So Alan is going to be posting the next Ask Philip request later today. What I did want to go over real quick was I sent out an email to the email list this morning. And if you're not on the email list, there's a few reasons you want to join ASAP. One reason is to get these kind of emails that no one else gets. I mean, I occasionally post them in the group or on my profile, but there's other content that I send out only by email. And not to mention occasionally special offers and things like that that only email list people get. More importantly, check this out. So today I'm recording with Lauren Colenso Semple. She's a female physiology and muscle growth researcher. She writes for Mass Research Review. She's amazing. And we're going to talk about a lot of really cool topics like training for the menstrual cycle. We're going to talk about machines versus free weights, satellite cells, functional training. We'll see what we get to. But starting with her, I'm going to be recording a separate bonus episode, like a short 5 to 10 minute episode where we're going to solve a specific problem related to one of those topics and give you steps as if she were coaching you. And I'm going to do this with many guests coming up in the future. And only people who are on this email list will get that bonus content. So yeah, another reason to join. So all you have to do is go to witsandweights.com/email. Since you're in the Wits and Weights Facebook community, you may already be on the email list. Many of you are. Some of you are not. So go to witsandweights.com/email and you'll get on the list. So today I sent out an email about how do you really know if you're in a calorie deficit, right? And I'm not going to reread my email, but effectively what triggered this is, well, serendipitously, two things. I had someone reach out to me, a friend of mine in the group who asked me a related question, but then I was also on I was watching a training replay yesterday from one of the groups that I'm in for nutrition coaches. And the question was asked, will a 25% calorie deficit continue to be effective over time? Like while you're dieting, will that deficit continue to allow you to lose weight at that rate? And a lot of people said, no, 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 no. And he said, yep, you're right. The answer is no. A 25% calorie deficit is going to become less and less effective over time. And I was like, wait a minute, that's not right. Like I'm challenging that because of the wording. And I'm actually waiting for him to get back to me. I sent him an email just picking his brain on that very politely. And here's why, because the way it's worded, I think the implication is that if you start in a calorie deficit based on your initial maintenance calories, as your body adapts downward, that calorie deficit will actually become a smaller deficit if you don't change the amount of calories you're eating because your metabolism's declining, but your intake hasn't. So what he really meant to ask was, will a 25% calorie deficit relative to your initial maintenance calories continue to be effective over time? And that answer is no, because the deficit's going to shrink if it's based on a number that never changes. But we know that your metabolism does change, and most people have no idea what their metabolism is to know how many calories they need to eat to be in that 500 calorie deficit. Long story short, if you know your true expenditure, your metabolism, then you know you can eat in a calorie deficit and then maintain the deficit until you lose the amount of fat or weight you need or want to lose. And that, again, comes back to what's the tool for the job out there to do that? Well, you can use a spreadsheet and kind of track your food against your body weight over time, or you can use an app that does it. The only app that exists so far that does that is MacroFactor, right? And if you use MacroFactor, I do have a discount code. It's Wits and Weights, but I'm a user. My clients use it. I say this over and over like a broken record. But if you use that app and log your food and weight, you will know what your expenditure is, and that'll give you the clarity to know that you're in the right deficit. So long story short, get on the email list so you get emails like this. If you're not on the email list and you join and want this email, reach out to me and I will send it. I'm not posting this in the group. It's just to my email list. But I'll send it to you if you joined after watching this Ask Live. So you get a copy of it. And that's it. I hope everyone has a great week. Check out today's episode 131. And also the holiday episode coming up on Tuesday. And comment on this video if you have any questions, follow-ups, takeaways, or just want to give me a heart or a thumbs up. Love you guys. Love this community. And let's keep getting stronger together every day. We'll talk soon.